So I'm wandering along this path. I'm not too sure where it goes, but there's a hill right beside or right behind where I'm staying at my grandma's, and I assume this is a way to get to the top of it, or at least get near the top. It's just a lot of it's just random forest, and I'm just currently following this path. Coming up, you can see, hopefully I can get a good shot of that through the bushes. I'm staying at the top of a hill, so in the distance you can see the whole of Albir and some of Benidorm in the distance. Get a good shot. This isn't the best camera for it, but I can hear what sounds like a ceremony. I don't know if the microphone can pick up on that yet, so fuck knows what I'm going to stumble across. Just hopefully you can hear that. There's some ukulele shit going on, some fucking bongos. I don't think I should film the whole walk because it'd be uninteresting, and anything I do upload, I haven't really got much video editing experience. Hopefully this picks up on my voice well enough. There's the music. I'm going to bowl into some sort of satanic ritual. Oh shit. It looks like... oh, it just looks like basically hillside buskers. So, yeah. Hola! So they're just banging out some instruments with their little dog. I immediately felt like cutting some rug there, do you know what I mean? This is a bit random because I don't know where this is going to go. It's some fucking mad terrain here, and I can't afford to go too mad because I'm still training in my barefoot shoes. These are Vibrams. Again, I'm trying to go back to basics, not rely on any shoes, get used to walking barefoot. Ideally barefoot means barefoot, so not even having these on, but I don't also want to go into an experience with fucking stones in the bottom of my foot. So as it stands, I've got the closest thing to barefoot. Anyway, I'm going to continue to trek up this mountain. As I was saying, hopefully edit some footage, which I've got to practice on. So bear with me and don't expect some of the most highest production value, put it that way. Right, so this will be my first pop-up vlog anyway, as I continue to trek up this fucking mountain, which looks like a beast. I'm not too sure how this is all going to come out, but I'll continue to do it anyway. And I'm not too sure whether to follow this path or straight through the middle to get to, there's a peak there. But anyway, if you've listened to any of the episodes, it may or may not have been uploaded by the time this is uploaded, if it gets uploaded. But I've tried recording a podcast like 3 times, but the sound is pretty terrible, and I've just basically tried to summarise why it is I've come out, to get some headspace, a different perspective, and to focus on long life health. Basically, I'd class this trip, I got a one-way ticket out here, and I'd class it as a successful trip if I was able to answer the ever growing question back home: what am I doing? What is long life health? So if I can do that, as I say, I've tried explaining it, touching on it, but it ends up turning into 40-minute episodes on a podcast, which again I've tried 3 times and it hasn't yet worked. But for now, I might as well try and explain what I believe it is, and I don't think it's going to pick up the sound because it's a bit windy. But really, it's an attitude. I have to be careful what word to use because I don't want to put a preperception into anyone's head. Oh, fucking hell. Death tunnel. I don't want to put a perception into anyone's head, so if I say lifestyle, this idea might come into your head. I'm going to wander over in this little roundabout. If I say lifestyle, I don't want to be one of these lifestyle coaches. I don't want to be personal training. I don't want to be just vlogger. I am all of it and none of it. So it's an attitude and everything I believe in manifested into a philosophy, broken down into HISSTS, which is HISTS, health, mental and physical, and they all drip down into their own, they're all very, very complex, and they drip down into their own, they all have their own depth. Integrity, doing what you feel is right, trusting your gut, doing stuff for yourself, not for others. Serenity, try and be content of where you are at all times. Try and be humble, try and be okay with the fact you might not have the job you want, you might not be in a relationship you want, you might not have the financial stability you want. Just try and be okay with it. And then surroundings are so important. Big reason I've come out here is, despite my best intentions, and I did it well at home, to manipulate my surroundings to support me and suit me rather than just distract me. So there's little things like a lamp in my house is a neutral object to give me light, where I see that as an opportunity to support me rather than just being neutral. So I'd get a Himalayan salt lamp. That's a small example. And then there's obviously what music you listen to, what you're going through on social media, who do you follow, who motivates you, who do you spend your time with, what do you do in a 24-hour day period that supports you and not neutralises or distracts you. So it's trying to control that to benefit you and accelerate you forward. And a big part of that, of me coming out here, was to get a different perspective, because despite my best intentions, sometimes when you follow the same routine and pattern, as beneficial as it might seem, you'll never quite be able to think of something outside the box or get a different perspective on something unless you change that environment. So that's surroundings, that's really what I'm doing out here. Then there's time management. That can be an hour at a time, a day at a time, a week at a time, whatever works best for you. For me, I break it down into a 24-hour day, structure my time to, again, suit and support me, to push me forward, to get me where I want to go. and try and live in a moment. I know it sounds all mumbo jumbo and shit, but there's never a tomorrow and there was never a yesterday. It's just a series of passing moments. Right now, try and make the best out of right now. And it's sort of contradictory that I'm filming it and I'm not quite living and looking at this mad view, which is a fucking awesome view, by the way. I want to get to the top of that beast over there, but it's fucking, I've been here a week today. In fact, I would have landed around this time and I've only just come here, but it's lovely. But time management, managing your time to suit you and structuring it, making sure. The quick tip I can give to making the most out of that is to have a morning ritual. If you want to start every day and have a productive day every day, how you start that day from the very moment you wake up, you open your eyes, is vital. And having a pattern you can follow religiously, fine tune it and progressively work on it until you settle into a routine and a pattern that works for you, and then it becomes subconscious autopilot. And what that does, it sets you up for the day with an equally productive morning every morning, and you haven't had to waste any decisions on anything. And decisions are essentially willpower. And if you're wasting shitty decisions on what to wear, what to have for breakfast, and you haven't organised anything, you're not starting the best way you can. You know, if you think of it like a race or whatever, you want to get the best start possible. So a morning ritual is vital, and you can learn more morning rituals by the blog posts I did on it and some of the posts I put up on my Facebook page, but you'll find it all at longlifehealth.net. And then sustainability, try and work it all together, put it all together as one piece and have it as an attitude as you go through life, day, work, whatever you're doing, whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're doing in that moment. Try and sustain it. And the key thing is finding the balance. You want to trust your gut. Think about all the principles and the philosophy and trust your gut. If you're overworking to try and be healthy but it's stressing you out, tone it down a bit, like Ross Geller, and then try and find a balance, find what works for you. But that's basically it. Try and progressively work on it each day, and know you can go to bed every night going, I did everything I could. And if you can't, suck it up. It doesn't matter, it's happened, and try and crack on with it. But that's me touching on it basically. That's basically what it is. It's obviously quite complex and it comes in many different forms. But Long Life Health is basically a manifestation and me as a representation of how I feel to squeeze the best out of existence, life, be happy, try and do what you want, be healthy doing that. If your body is the vehicle through this race, don't fucking destroy it. But ultimately, above everything else, do what you want. Do what you fucking want, because it is your life, it's not mine. And this is how I feel about it, and I'm just documenting it for people to suck up the best bits of information and the most valuable resources out of it to implement into their life and make it work for them. So, over and out, and carry on trekking up this mountain. Tunnel boxing. I keep looking at these little cliff things and wanting to cut through the middle, like that bit there. Instead I've got to go round. This guy, here he goes. Hola! No one gives a shit about me. Yeah, I keep wanting to cut through there, but again, I have to go around I'm gonna follow this path, see where it takes me. Get to the top. Get to the top and maybe do some Wim Hof breathing or some shit like that. Some of this stuff is crazy. I've been living right next to this for, to be fair, the weather hasn't been that good. The weather hasn't been what you would perceive as, what you would think is Spanish weather. It's been pretty cloudy, a lot hotter than it is at home. It's been around 13, 14 degrees. Fairly windy, fairly cloudy. And today, besides the day I landed on a week ago, it's the first day the sun's been out properly. So I'm just walking up to Aladdin's gaff now. I so wish I had a better camera. I'm definitely on a budget, so I ain't got the best camera, but it's Aladdin's gaff, if you can see that. And it looks like this is where this path takes me. Pretty steep right now, looking over this cliff face. Again, I don't know. I'm not too sure whether this is a road or not. I don't think anyone gives a fuck. I'm just going to talk to myself and walk. But generally, that's a nice track. I can't really go wrong. Oi, oi, where the birds at? So, I'm still walking around this path, and there's a lot of people walking it as well. And I said hello to a few of them, but it gets a bit boring after a while, so I've mastered this hello smile, which goes a little bit like this. So I'm walking normally, and then anyway, hope that comes around and it looks alright to people. I don't want to come across too weird. Like I'm scrubbing up on my Spanish still anyway, so leave it out. Oh. Ain't that something? Let's have a look. Oh. So, I think I'm at the top of the public bit, but I'm not at the top of the actual mountain. So, I suppose climb that bad boy. Yeah, I definitely don't want to be filming it in case I slip and die. If I do, don't give my body to science. Stuff it because my girlfriend will probably want to keep it. So I've walked all of that, spirals around there, comes round here, goes in the mountain there, goes round, and I'd say it does that 3 times before I get back to where I started, which is a daunting feeling, knowing I've got to trek it back, but I may try running. Problem is, first of all, these shoes, or lack of shoes on this concrete, and this bag on my back, but I don't know, I've got literally all day. So we're up to Aladdin's Gaff, which is just a fucking lighthouse which is locked. What an idiot, thinking they'll serve coffee or something like that. Literally nothing up here but another view. These things always remind me of Home Alone. When he arrives in New York. Here's the drop. Pretty high. Make my stomach go a bit funny actually. Right, so I've just been trekking for the past 25 minutes, half hour. Now I'm in the middle of, I'm sat on the on the end of this cliff face, just chilling out. No one else is up here. And yeah, fucking made it. There's the beach. If you follow me on Instagram, you see the other day I put up some video of some muscle ups. Yeah, I was balancing and stuff. I didn't upload that video, but that's where I was doing it, way down there, and now I'm way up here. I don't have anything else to say.